Hello friends, today we are going to discuss about hydraulic actuators, unit number 2. Myself, Professor M.R. Pardeshi, Mechanical Engineering Department, Kekewag Institute of Engineering Education and Research. So the classification of linear actuators and the rotary actuator. First we will see what is meant by actuator. Actuator, it is the hydraulic component. It extract the energy from fluid and convert it into a mechanical energy to perform useful work. It may be called it as a hydraulic cylinder or linear actuator. It extend and retract a piston rod to provide a push or pull force to drive the external load along a straight line path. So the linear actuators converts the hydraulic energy into a straight line motion, and the rotary actuators convert the hydraulic energy into a rotational motion or maybe a limited rotation of a hydraulic energy. Then basic construction of hydraulic cylinder or hydraulic actuator. The cylinder having the cylinder base, then cylinder tube, then piston rod, cylinder cap is there, then piston rod wiper to clean the every time when the piston rod is exposed to the atmosphere. So for cleaning purpose the piston rod wiper is using. Piston rod seal is there to prevent the leakage during the operation. Then piston rod guide to provide the guidelines or the guide to smooth operation of this particular extension and retraction stroke. Then piston seals to prevent the leakage from the rod side to the annular side. Then piston o-ring is using to provide the smoothness during the operation or to avoid the friction and to prevent the dynamic leakages of the oil during the operation. So this is the when the two inputs are there or the two ports are there. Here is the one of the port, it is shown by the blue portion, and this is the another port which is shown by the red portion. So here the we can say that this is called a differential piston or the differential actuator. In that case the area is not same on the both the side. And why it is called double acting, the both the sides of the piston we are using for extracting the energy from the fluid. Suppose this is from the red portion, the high pressure fluid is coming inside the cylinder, and this blue portion oil, this will be the outlet of the oil, and whatever the extraction of the hydraulic energy, it is converted into a mechanical energy, or the pull function or the push function can be performed by means of this rod that is connected to the further link, and we can use for the particular task. As the area is not same, as I told you, the differential actuator that may be called area is not same. Here the area will be the pi by 4 d square. Here is the area is pi by 4 uh, d square di square minus this rod area, or we can say pi by 4 into dr square means the rod area. So the area is not same, so obviously the pressure developed by the cylinder at each side will be the different. So the due to the pressure difference created in that cylinder due to the difference in the area, so that it is called as a differential actuator. Then next is the various types of cylinders. There are majorly two types, rotating cylinder and non-rotating cylinders. In rotating cylinder there are various types, as we have seen in the pump, like as reverse function of the pump is like a actuator. So the construction will be the same, but the function is different. And in non-rotating, obviously the double acting cylinder, special type of cylinder, and the single acting cylinder. In the special type of cylinder, majorly the telescopic cylinder, tandem cylinder, and some special actuator which will be useful to absorb the various shocks created during the operation. So the special type of cylinder that can be used in that case. Then next, the construction of single acting ram type cylinder. So ram is nothing but a mass which is stored in the form of potential energy whenever the fluid is inside the cylinder or inside this vessel or the housing. The fluid supply is from this port. Once the fluid is pressurized fluid is stored inside this vessel, and due to that the ram is moving upward, and at the time of uh, pressure generation or at the time of operation, so the ram will be moving towards downward direction, and the fluid supply will be the from this side. So this will be the single acting. Here, due to the gravity, the ram is moving downward direction due to the gravity. In some cases, the spring is there. We will see in the next slide. Here, the single acting spring return. Here, why it is called single acting? Only one side of the cylinder is using for the operation. Another side is not using. But there may be some leakages. Due to that, the one ports is there. Here, the small port is attached. Here, the direction control valve is using 3 by 2 push button operated direction control valve is there. From this side, this position is actuated, this line is connected here, and due to that the pressurized fluid is coming inside the cylinder, and due to that the spring will compress and the task will complete. Or the linear force that is in the straight line, as I told you earlier, that can be created, and due to the spring force, again by means of the spring force, that fluid will again moving towards the left side, and due to that this position will changing. Now this position from here to here, and it will goes to the reservoir or the tank, and this again the DCV changing its position. Due to this, again the spring is using. Firstly, push button is operating, and secondly the spring will decompress and this position can be changed. So this is called a single acting cylinder. Then we'll see the double acting cylinder with single piston rod. Here, as we have discussed earlier, only one single piston rod is using here. Again, we can call it as a differential cylinder or differential actuator. The area is not same. Here the area is annular area AP. Here is the the area is AP minus AR. So here the nomenclature of double acting cylinder, again here the reservoir is using to store the oil, filter to filter the contamination, then pump is to generate the flow per revolution, constant flow rate per revolution, and then it goes to the direction control valve, as we have seen earlier, and by changing the position of direction control valve we can control the direction of the fluid flow, and we can directing the fluid to entering inside the double acting cylinder. So here, so this arrow will be the entering inside the cylinder, and it will move towards left side, and whatever the oil inside the left side of the annular area of the cylinder, it moves towards from the direction control valve towards reservoir. So that can be performed the pull function or the push function whatever the application is concerned. So this is called a double acting cylinder. Then another type of cylinder, that may be a double acting cylinder with double piston rod. As I told you earlier, the differential actuator is there. Why? Because the area is not same. Here we are trying to balance the area between the both the sides. Means here the area is same, here is area is same. Means whatever the area present here in this side is the AP minus AR, means piston area minus rod area. Here is also the area is same, AP minus AR. Means whatever the pressure develop from either this side or the this side, both will be the same because the area is same. So direction of piston movement, so the whatever the velocity during the operation, that is same, and whatever the discharge we require to move this actuator, that is again same. Ideally we are considering that both the side piston pressure is same, so that's why we can say that area is same. That's why we can say that from the continuity equation, Q is equals to area into velocity. So the as the area is same, velocity also same, and the Q required to move this particular actuator from one place to another place to generate the push or pull function, that is also same. Then next, the tandem cylinder. In the tandem cylinder, the as the applying the Pascal's law, the exposed the means in case of hydraulic jack, as we have seen in the first video of unit number 1, in that case the exposed area is larger. If the exposed area is larger, then we can develop the larger pressure, larger force, and the exposed area is smaller. By means of the smaller force, we can develop the larger force. So multiplication of forces we have seen in the Pascal's law. So here the agenda is same. The whatever the area which is exposed to the fluid, that is more. So due to that, the more power or the more load can be handled by means of the tandem cylinder in a less space, or where the space is very less. In that case the tandem cylinder is using. So force is providing from this side, and the area which is exposed to the oil, which is this one and this one, and the piston 2 is the area is exposed to this one and this one. So due to that, we can handle the larger capacity of that particular application, the tandem or master cylinder that can be used. So here the this tandem cylinder is using in the automobile brake system. So this outlet is to for the front brakes, this is for the rear brake. So ultimately we need to apply the same force for the front brake also and from the rear brake also. So we need to generate the constant force. So due to that, the tandem cylinder is going to use. So the area is same. So due to that, we can say that this two black portion is using for piston 1. This black portion, two black portion is using for piston 2. So the area will be the same. So due to that, we can say that the whatever the force generated at the front brake, it is same as the pressure force generated at the rear brake. Then next is the telescopic cylinder. In the telescopic cylinder, there are number of cylinders using in the telescopic cylinder. You might have been seen the telescopic cylinder in the trucks or in the cranes or in the elevators. That telescopic type of cylinder is using one into another. That cylinder is going to use. That is called telescopic cylinder. Where in the smaller or the from the larger stroke length, the larger type of load can be handled by means of telescopic cylinder. Then one of the application of telescopic cylinder, as I told you, in case of crane and the truck, this type of telescopic cylinder is using that one after another that cylinder is going to move, and it will develop a larger force. And this will be the end of this particular session. Thank you very much for watching. Thank you very much.